Hey guys, what's up? It's coming from G&A today. So here's my newest rifle. I picked up the Ruger Precision Rimfire, which is brand new to the market. In fact, most major distributors don't have this in stock. I saw Kentucky Gun Company's video on this, and they said that they still haven't received all of theirs from Ruger yet. They had one in stock, but the majority of their shipment hasn't come in. And I looked over on Brownells. They're still showing that they don't have it. I had the pre-order at Sportsman's Outdoor Superstore, and I kind of got the feeling that was going to be a while. So anyways, I kind of looked around and found a single guy on Gunbroker that had one, kind of a mom and pop shop, and ordered it through him. And here's what I paid for it. The MSRP is $529. I paid $429. Actually, I paid $399 for it. And this is from Gunbroker, so they figured in the shipping of $30, which really is probably a little bit too high, but I wanted it. And so I went ahead and paid the $30 shipping where it's free at Sportsman's Outdoor Superstore. But anyways, that's going to be the high end of the price range. I think it's going to be cheaper than that. In fact, I think once things settled out, it's probably going to be $350 to $375 street price. Pop it open here. Of course, I've inspected this at the FFL, so of course I've had it open, and I've had it open here at the house just figuring stuff out. So you get the manual, get a decal and all this other stuff, get the lock. Okay, mine comes with a 15-round magazine. They do have the model. This is the 8400. I think the 8401 is the state compliant version. It just has a 10-round mag, and so that good thing about this rifle, it's bolt action, so you'll be able to get it in even the most unfriendly gun states like California and New York and New Jersey. This rifle will be just fine. All right, and then here's the rifle. Still oily up underneath the handguard. I need to get that cleaned up. This thing was oily when I got it, for sure. And then here's the bolt. Just like that. This has an adjustable bolt throw to adjust it from this, which is just basically the 22 up to that, all the way out to there, to mimic a center fire bolt throw 308 or 6.5. Okay, bolt releases right there. You just push that down, and then your bolt just slides right out. Okay, this rifle definitely is empty. I can see it on the chassis here, on the buttstock portion of the chassis. You can adjust this, the comb height, the comb back and forth, and then you can adjust length of pull. So this goes from there to there. So that's a pretty good amount of adjustment. Then you can move the comb forward. And back. And then you can move it up and down. Just to be honest, so far adjusting this buttstock is kind of fiddly. It's not real smooth movement. You really have to you have to loosen this off most of the time, and then to be able to move it around, you can kind of twist it this way. But I guess really if you get this tightened down enough, then it makes it pretty sturdy. There's not really any wiggling like I saw earlier, so that's pretty good. That's all feeling pretty sturdy right there. That's good. Okay, on the back, there's two Allen screws. You can loosen these off and slide this butt plate up and down. There's Picatinny rail right here if you want to get like a little monopod. I think Atlas makes a little monopod that you can put on here. But those are not cheap. Cheapest one I saw was $100 for just a little tiny monopod. Okay, this has just a standard AR-15 pistol grip, and I borrowed my brother's Ruger AR-556 because I thought it looked the same, and sure enough, I think they're exactly the same. Now, the pistol grip is replaceable with any AR-15 pistol grip, and I've already put on a Magpul MOE, and I'll show that right here. Fit on there perfectly. But one thing you do have to know about this is the screw for this pistol grip is screwing into the polymer of this chassis. And so you have to be careful because you're putting a metal screw into polymer, and so if you cross thread that screw, that bolt is going to ream out some of that polymer, and it's not going to let your pistol grip stay in very firmly. I forgot to take this off, but they mentioned in their literature that the safety was a standard AR-15 safety selector, and sure enough it is. And I've got an ambidextrous one put on here. This is not the standard one. The standard one is actually this right here. It's just a standard AR-15 safety. So I put this one on, and it's a cheap one. I bought it off eBay for about 15 bucks or so. Okay, there's a 30 MOA canted scope base to give you more elevation to be able to reach out a little bit further. And this bolt handle is oversized, and it's replaceable with any of the centerfire Ruger Precision bolt handles you could put on there. This trigger is their marksman trigger. It is adjustable from, they say, 2¼ pounds to up to 5 pounds. And pulling on it with the trigger pull gauge, I was getting right at 2 pounds 4 ounces over and over again. 2 pounds 4, 2 pounds 5 ounces, somewhere around there. And it is a tiny trigger. I mean, it is so smooth. Okay, and I am going to put a snap cap in here, even though they do say it's all right to dry fire this. Get a close up. Got this little blade in here. And I felt the tiniest bit of creep. I mean, like maybe 1/2 millimeter. I can feel just a tiny, tiny bit, but it's nearly so little, it's really not even there. Just breaks very, very, very cleanly. And also always like to see what the firing pin does to it. And shooting, there's 2 different dimples on there. Shot it twice with this snap cap. Okay, the chassis from here going all the way back to here is made out of what they say glass-filled nylon, I guess polymer or whatever. And then the receiver is, I guess, some kind of steel. And then you have this steel barrel, 4140 steel, cold hammer forged barrel. It is a threaded barrel. And you have this thread protector on there. Have this tiny little muzzle brake from Strike Industries. And of course, not the crush washer or anything on there, but there you go. And that barrel is about 0.85 of an inch. Okay, and then on the safety, you can put on any AR-15 safety that you want to, but also they say that just the one that comes with it is reversible, so you can take it out and flip it over to this side and put it in here. It's relatively easy, but the little spring that goes up underneath there, it's kind of difficult to get that thing worked right, but it's relatively easy though. Okay, the handguard on this is a 15-inch aluminum free float M-lock handguard. It's aluminum hard anodized. It kind of has a matte finish to it. I think it looks really, really nice. Just got very clean lines on it, and just seems to be good, high quality. And then I bought this little 2-inch piece or something like that of M-lock. I bought this for like $6 or $7 off of Amazon. So you can get these little M-lock pieces to mount anywhere on here you want to. I've just got it just to be able to mount a bipod on there. Okay, and the handguard, you just loosen these 2 screws off right here. And the handguard pulls off pretty easy. Just friction fits on that, on the barrel nut right there. And the barrel nut is easily removable. It says that even in Ruger's literature that any AR-15 wrenches should be able to take that barrel nut off and then be able to pull this barrel out very easily. Alright, this little piece right here is actually removable. You just kind of flex it out like this. Whoa. And it's just a little plastic piece, and it just comes out like that. And you can see underneath here, here's the little Allen key that you can use to adjust your trigger weight. All right, there's the marksman trigger. Now, I do not have a centerfire Ruger Precision, but I did compare on the exploded views of these triggers, and they look very, very similar. There's just a couple things that look like they might be a little bit different, but this trigger is nearly exactly the same one in the Ruger Precision centerfire. All right, this will take any 10-22 magazine, take the rotary 10-round magazine, and then it'll take the 25 also, which I will very likely not be using on this. I mean, this definitely is good for 10-22, but for this where you're trying to do some kind of precision shooting, I don't really see the purpose of having a 25-round mag in there. Okay, I'm either going to get out tomorrow or Saturday the next day and do some testing. I'm going to shoot some Ely 10X, some Federal Ultramatch, which those will be the main 2, and then I'll use some Standard Velocity maybe, and even some of the Seguila Rifle Match. But these right here are going to be my 2 main ones to really test for accuracy. And I'm going to mount this SWFA 12x42 scope on it. I'm going to have a couple more videos coming out real quick on this, on how to adjust the bolt throw on that, how to adjust the trigger, how to disassemble, all that kind of stuff. But very cool rifle. Very, very cool rifle. Definitely digging that. If it groups pretty good, this will definitely be an awesome rifle. There you go. Be coming from GNA today. Thanks for watching.